Well, hello every morning.
Hello every morning.
Yeah, hello every morning. Good morning, everybody. It's Dan and Wanda back from Pecan Grove. Hope all y'all having a good morning. We're out here this morning. Got up, it was 63 degrees. We about had a fit. And
Nice.
But the sun's already hitting us pretty quick here because we've been having to set the cub plows up. You know how farm work is. You got to feed animals and everything. By the time you get going, it's already hot. But it's 7:15, and that's late for us. So we got some Jackson Wonder beans here, Bush lima beans,
and seed company.
SSD. All I know,
Service Seed Division.
Yeah, we got our got them from our local co-op. Let's just put it that way. We're gonna be planting these, and I don't have time to go hunt up everything I need. We're in a rush this morning. While we got a little cool weather, we want to just roll with it. So I'm gonna be dropping them by hand. So we're gonna jump out here and we're gonna plant 2 pieces of a rows up here because this part stays in the shade in the morning times. And if we got to pick them, it's gonna be in the morning because in the evening the sun's right yonder, and you don't get no shade till dark. So we're gonna try to get 2 short pieces up here, and then we're gonna try to plant some jungle peanuts on the other end down here because they love the sun. The garden that we have on the outside out here, we're not planting anything that's not a heat-loving plant. We have like okra loves heat, the corn loves the heat, the bush lima beans loves the heat, the jungle peanuts loves the heat, sweet potatoes loves the heat. That's the kind of stuff we're planting outside out here where the sun just, bears down on it here. Because the timber really hasn't got tall enough yet. This is young timber on both sides and over here too, to shade all this. It's not big tall timber so that we can get a shade on it for a long period of time. So we're gonna get going here, and I'm probably gonna plant these about they're butter beans, so I'm gonna probably say about every 4 to 6 inches apart here. Now we are having a problem with grasshoppers. They are definitely wanting to try to chew stuff off up here, and that's one thing that we're kind of concerned about is, how we're going to keep the grasshoppers from eating stuff off, and are we going to have to plant extra to possibly prevent that, so if they do eat some off, there's still enough of them left, And butter beans is one of those things, especially the bush type, you don't want them so thick. They're not like pole beans. You don't want them so thick that they start shading each other out, because if they do, then what you end up with is spindly little old plants that don't really have anything on them to amount to nothing. You want them to be able to live to their potential. Now, as far as I know, these butter beans are an heirloom, I believe. And if we wanted to, we could save seeds from these because we don't have any other variety up here. So we're gonna get down through here, and we're gonna probably cover them about 1 inch deep. In the ground right now, guys, this is what you call perfect soil for gardening right now. It's very mellow. No dirt clods in it. Occasionally you'll find a sprig of grass like this, and we'll just throw that out to the side because the sun today will wither that up to nothing. Well, we got us 2 rows about 50 feet long planted here. And I was sitting here looking. Look at this right here. Y'all see that right there? That's what's in our field up here. And along with a fire ant crawling around there. That's in our field too. Everybody always talks about you won't have no earthworms if you're always tilling or if you're using commercial fertilizer. That's not true. Earthworms comes from organic matter left in the soil. Like that corn right there, I'll come through here and bush hog all that stuff down and let it rot and turn it under the soil with a turn plow. But, guys, hand me that what you have in your pocket there, baby. I'm going to show y'all the beauty of planting by hand. And the seriousness of planting by hand. I use planters. I will admit I do, but I'm usually using my own seed lots of times when I do. We were using these SSD seeds here, the Service Seed Division seeds, from the local co-op. And as I was planting these speckled butter beans, all of a sudden something didn't feel right in my hand. And I looked up. You see that right there? Looks like a brown crowder pea. What it looks like. If I had just dumped that in my planter and not paid any attention, guys, this is how we get cross-pollinated seeds all the time. A plant like that will come up in amongst the seeds and it'll throw some pollen in there. And the next thing you know, you got seeds that everybody believes is pure seeds. And that's why, you know, doing it the old-fashioned way ain't necessarily the bad way. And, you know, for two old people, we plant a lot of and food, you know. William from Permaculture Consultant, somebody sent me a message and said that he had did a video and that he had mentioned us in it, and I went over there and looked at it. It was hilarious to me. But good video, but it was hilarious. I think it was more fun than anything else. And he talked about for two old people, them people sure do plant a lot of food. And he, you know, and he meant it in a good way, and I know he did. And William's a good guy.
We've been called old when we first started by Life in Farmland.
Eric from Life in Farmland gave us our first shout out other than Dirt Patch Heaven we ever had in our life. And he said, for them two old people down there, and you know what? And
that was 10 years ago.
Yeah, that was 10 years ago. So if I was old then, I don't know what you make us now. We're ancient now, I reckon. I mean, we're a decade older, so.
But William is Billy and Michelle from Permapasture Farm's son. He's a good guy.
He's a good guy. He really is. Very knowledgeable. Very knowledgeable when it comes to permaculture. Now, I know this is called monoculture, and we do this because we don't buy from a grocery store. I love what Billy and William and all them do. I really do.
And they produce a good bit of food.
And they produce a good bit of food. Yes, they do. And I do permaculture on our property here, but I do what's called zoning most of the time. And I do have my plot like this, but on different places of the property, I have trees planted, I have berries, I have different things planted all around on the property everywhere. Kind of like God does it, you know what I mean? Like you look at these trees and these woods right here, and you see stuff growing underneath them, and you go, how does that live? Because it's in a shade. Well, you take that stuff out from under those trees and put it out here in the bald open sun, and most of it won't do good. It's made to grow there. It's like huckleberries and blueberries and stuff like that. They're not made to be out in a bald open field. They're made to grow up under the shade of something else, or where something shades them at least half of the day, you know. And that's kind of what we do here on the property. Like my okra. This right here, these butter beans, now they're heat-loving plants, but I've also got it where these trees behind us back here keeps this ground shaded in the morning time until the sun gets up in the middle of the day, and then they stay in the sun until late in the afternoon because they're heat-loving plants, but they get their coolness in the morning. The dew doesn't dry off of them really, really quick. That's kind of I guess you call that permaculture in a way, because I'm zoning it. Now my okra I have over next to the corn right here. Because the corn is tall, it's going to shade the okra while it's young. And by the time the okra gets up and starts bearing really, really good, the corn will be over with. I can come in, bush hog all the corn down or feed it to the cows, whatever I'm going to do with it. And leave it to dry. And the okra will love the sun then. But while it's young, I don't want the hot sun bearing down on it while it's young. I want it to be able to get up, get a root system established. Now the sweet potatoes over here, they love the sun, they love the heat. I'm not worried about them. Sweet potato grow in the worst conditions in the world, just about. So
2 or 3 years ago, we grew the best sweet potatoes, and there was no rain, and we did not water.
We did not water. That was at Deep South. We did not water. It did not rain all summer almost, and we just give up on them. We said, all right, they're probably not going to do anything. But when we went to dig them, we had big old giant sweet potatoes, and guys, they stored well. You know, I mean, they tasted good. So, you know, it just all depends. It all depends.
But this is our heat-loving.
This is our heat-loving garden right here. And because we talk about heat-loving, I'm fixing to be down there on the heat-loving part right down there planting peanuts now. So let me get busy.
How far apart are you putting those?
I'm putting them about 16 inches apart.
About 16 inches apart for the peanuts. These are jungle peanuts.
$7.55. Took about an hour to get that done. Found a few potatoes that we missed in the garden here. You can tell where the tiller chopped it up. But didn't find any more, so I think that's probably pretty good. You know, that's why I like doing it by hand rather than plowing them and letting the dirt just pile all over everywhere, because you lose a lot of them that way. But we got our heat-loving garden all done before the heat actually got to the end here. Kind of happy about that. There's one that felt sorry for me. I was off down there in all that heat, planting all that stuff, and she come down there and covered them up while I was planting. So I appreciate that. We would have filmed it, but you don't have a camera on stand out here with us. Didn't really plan on that. But she came through and covered it up behind me, which made it go a lot faster, or I would still be down there. Now, I've got to run through the corn a little bit this morning. Make sure that there's any more stalks in there that don't have good ears on them. I can go ahead and snatch them out, feed them to the cows. Cows love their corn on a daily basis. Plus, I got to kill the electric fence. The smilax up in the woods up here has done started growing and hanging over it, so it's kind of grounding it out. I can hear it popping. So I got to go in there and get the smilax off of it, because I don't want to turn the cows into the grass right here beside it until I get these smilax off the electric fence, because the electric fence is all that's between them and the garden if I turn them in here.
And they got a nice little paddock here that they could eat in.
Yeah, they need to eat this down before it starts getting up. And they're standing up at the gate waiting, because they know. When they hear me up here, they pretty much know that I'm going to let them in there, you know. But I'm not going to do it till I get this electric fence taken care of, and I test it, because the only thing it would be horrible to turn them cows loose in there and they realize there's something not working about that electric fence and they walk through it right here and eat this garden down. I would be fit to be tied.
And you have to stay and kind of keep an eye out. You're going to be working close for a little while.
Because it won't take them long. This is only about an acre, and it won't take them long. Them cows will go through an acre of grass and down to what I wanted at about 4 to 6 inches high. They'll eat it down to that in no time. So, but that's why you have paddocks, for those reasons like that.
Y'all waiting? He's coming. Come get some. Hello, Candy. Hadassah, Duke, Stormy, and Sishan. Candy, you just move her out of the way. Pretty good, ain't it, Candy? You waiting for the next full moon, aren't you?
Pushing right at 5,000 joules. That's enough to keep their attention. Come on here, girl. Come on. Come on. There's some happy cows. And they just come right inside the gate and start eating.
They don't wander around until they get through where they're at.
Yeah, when they start wandering and just doing a lot of walking, that's when you get them out because they're already full. Isn't it amazing how cows live on nothing but grass and they get so big and healthy and strong? But I have seen cows on pretty grass and be as poor as all get out because the grass has no nutrition. Nobody does anything to it. They don't fertilize it. They don't lime it. They don't keep the cows with no minerals.
Yeah, ours do give their minerals and their salt.
They get minerals. They get salt.
And they get a sweet treat every now and then.
They get a treat every morning. A high protein treat, let me put it that way.
Yeah.
But they're like lawnmowers.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, they're like a lawnmower. If you used to leave them in here all day, by late this afternoon, it looked like you mowed it. And they're so content.